Hi everyone. Hello. Welcome to Friday's webinar. Good to see everybody. Hello. How are you today? Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can see me, and we should be all set to go. We're waiting on a couple of people coming in there. Apologies for the couple of minutes delay. Hi Mark. Hi Ross. Raining. Yeah, it's okay here. It's a little bit overcast, but it's kind of sunny, so it's just a little bit colder today. So we'll get a little walk in at some point, I'm sure. Peter, hello from Middlewood Farm Holiday Park. Hello, good to see you. Good to see everybody again. Ottalia, good to see you as well. Relatively warm in Derbyshire. Same. It's a bit of a strong wind. Cold wind coming in at the moment. Hopefully it'll brighten up for the weekend. Hello, Donna, Terry. Hi, everyone. Hello. Ross has got a question coming in nice and early. Question coming in just as we wait for a few more people to join. Ross says about Bing Places. Updated it a week ago, but still hasn't changed. Anything you can do, it's all verified through Google. I had to edit. Okay, so it can take up to 14 days for your Bing listing to change, to update. So please do bear that in mind. It can take up to 14 days. Even InfoServe, who is a accredited partner for Bing Places, we can instantly verify listings. Even we have to wait up to 14 days sometimes. So it can take up to 2 weeks. Phil, you've 2 reviews that were done nine days ago, not arrived on Google. Did arrive. Okay. Maybe Josh, you could pick that question up if that's all right. Kings Lynn, beautiful. Yes, watching in the garden. That sounds exquisite. Maybe we can do a webinar from our garden at some point next week. Let's hope the weather gets warmer. So I'm all set. Josh is here as well. He's in the chat answering any of your questions. Hello, Josh.
Hello. How are we all doing? How are you doing, Matt?
Good, thanks. You?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Friday, can't complain.
Good. Yeah, same here. It's Friday. We are going to be following up today on yesterday's PPC webinar, right?
Yes, we are. So had a lot of questions how to add site link extensions and so forth. So what we've decided to do today is basically show you from scratch the best way to kind of set up a campaign. Obviously, as you all know, we are offering to do this for free for you guys. If you prefer us to do it, we've been doing this for the past 20 odd years, so we know it like the back of our hand. Again, if you do want us to do it, more than happy to, but we are going to show you today on the best practices and kind of how to add your site link extensions and all that kind of juicy stuff. So we've got a really good session planned for you guys today. Just to answer some questions. Attilia, yes. So our webinar that we did on Bing Places was last week, I believe. So yeah, I think on the on Bing Places, I think it does actually tell you when it's planning on publishing it right at the top. I think it actually does tell you when it's planning on publishing or when it will all be done. Again, it can take up to 14 days, especially during this kind of time. Obviously, Bing and Google both have less employees on the shop floor, as if it were. So just do bear that in mind. But the changes that you have made will be and placed.
Can I just answer the question on backlinks? When you send an article, we talked this week about creating articles and content and sending that content off to bloggers or local papers or relevant websites in your industry, because if you do that and you get a link back to your website, that is really powerful for SEO. So creating an article and or a piece of content and then reaching out, all you need to do is go to Google, type in top 100 bloggers in your industry. So for example, I gave an example of wedding industry. Go to Google, type top 100 bloggers in the wedding industry or wedding bloggers, and you've got a piece of content written with, you provide your website URL, and so you send that piece of content to bloggers, and you can see if you can get that published on a blogging website. No, I wouldn't have that on your website as well. I would just have that on their website. You don't need to have that repeated on your website as well. But it won't be too detrimental if you do. If you really feel like you want it on your website, go ahead. I wouldn't say that's going to really be detrimental to any SEO. But guys, what we talked about at the start of this week was writing content, reaching out to bloggers, to relevant websites. And I'm not talking about websites that are low grade, not very popular. I'm talking about websites that are popular, used by a lot of people. You know, that's why you're typing in top 100 bloggers. Get your content posted somewhere and get a link to your website. And if you can do that in a local newspaper or online, that's also really powerful. Those were some of our big, what we call off-site SEO tips. And we are going to talk at the end about what we could do to help you on that, because now it seems that we are admittedly getting quite a few questions, as in, can you guys help me with that? Can you guys just write the content and I'll, or can you guys reach out to bloggers? Well, yeah, we do have a network. We're connected to all the top 100 bloggers in the UK. We've already got that network. And so our content copywriter team are already really closely partnered with all those bloggers. So if you need us to do it for you, I'm going to mention this at the end with a kind of, I suppose, a place where you can go and we can help you out and we can get that content written for you and we can reach out to the bloggers for you. And so, yes, we can help. There's been a few questions on that. Okay, we're going to crack on. Let me just see if there's any final questions before we get started.
There is a couple. So we had EWS. I seem to have managed to get 4 entries in error in Bing Places. How do I delete 3? Now, what you can do, find the listings that you want deleting. Right at the bottom, there is a feedback option. If you click feedback, you can report it as a duplicate listing. So report those listings as duplicates. And again, it's the same kind of process. It can take up to 14 days. But if you report those as listings, especially when yours is verified, and then Bing can obviously see that it is a duplicate of your business, then yeah, they take it off pretty swiftly. Again, after the 14 days. I did see one question, but it's disappeared. But just to kind of answer it, it was asking, does an installer, if you have an installer, does that count as like a backlink? So if you've got like a manufacturer or an installer and you link to theirs and they link to you, yes, most definitely. Having links between websites works really well, as we mentioned in the other webinar. It's just about being reputable and having a reputable link, especially with the bigger names who will have bigger domain authority. I don't think we've touched upon domain authority yet, but again, that's a whole different kettle of fish. But yeah, simple answer is yes.
Great. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so without further ado, although I need to get Josh to check my screen sharing here because I've got a relatively low signal for some reason. So let's just have a check, see if it's okay. Okay, Josh, can you see the screen?
Yeah, a little blurry, but I think it'll settle down. It's all good.
Okay. So, guys, we've also got Dan joining us today. Dan Lescano. So, Dan, do you want to say hi to everyone whilst I have a quick sip of my tea? Dan,
Can you hear me?
Muted. He's muted.
Hi everyone.
We have got Dan in the webinar today. And so he'll probably find a way to unmute himself in a mere moment.
How are you doing, Dan?
Yeah, glad to be here again.
I can't hear him, unfortunately.
Great to be here again, guys.
So we'll come back to Dan. But
hello,
Dan is
everyone.
going to join us very shortly. Now, if for anyone that hasn't been in the webinars so far, I've put this on every webinar, just to add a little bit of trust in us and the advice that we're giving you. So we are just making sure that we're all aware of who InfoServe are and how we can help. So I think Dan might need to log out and log in again, unfortunately. But he's gonna pop in a minute. But I can't hear Dan, unfortunately. So in terms of InfoServe, we are the UK's only Google, Bing, Facebook, and Yahoo partner. We've got some of the highest level of partnerships. And that's how we're bringing you these webinars. But again, we've gone through that many times now. What we are doing today is we're going to look at following up from yesterday's session because we had some requests of, how can you show us how to put the ad extensions in? Can you show us literally where to do that stuff? So we're going to actually go through a live walkthrough.
Can you hear me now, Matt?
Yes. Hi, Dan. There we go.
Hi.
Hi, Dan. So Dan's joined us today. Thanks for joining again, Dan.
My pleasure. Great to be here.
So yeah, we're going to go through, like I say, a follow-up from yesterday's session regarding PPC because it's such an intricate, complex animal, this product, that there is probably, a number of future sessions that we could do on this. But what we talked about yesterday was how you can set up your ads to stand out from the competition and get more clicks. And these best practices apply not just to Google ads, Microsoft ads, but maybe even to Facebook ads as well. So there's a number of tips that we showed you that you can use for your ads in general or any of your promotions that you do as a business. So just in general, if you're doing a promotion from a business point of view, which I'd recommend everyone starts to think about very, very soon, because we are going to be coming out of this period very, very shortly. And actually, we're already starting to see businesses really take off. And so I'm going to talk about that a bit later on as to what we're seeing with businesses. But when it comes to actually writing a promotion or creating a promotion, remember I've talked to you through these webinar series. We've helped you with your Google listing. So if you're here today and you've not seen any of the previous webinars, don't worry, just keep tuning in every day at 2 p.m. because we'll probably be recapping on a few things. Yeah. But we've talked about Google My Business and the way you can optimize that to get it found higher on Google. We talked about your Bing listing. We've talked about your website. One thing I've said that if you're going to do a post or run a promotion, make sure that promotion is everywhere. So you've got a pop-up on your website or a section on your website with that particular promotion or message. And I see that many of you have put COVID-19 messages now on your websites and your GMBs, which is fantastic. So you've made a really good use of the tools available. But one thing I do is I would come up with some kind of promotion. So please do think about what angle you could go in over these next couple of weeks. It doesn't have to be money off or percentage off, or it could just be something added value, maybe 30 minutes free consultation, or come and view our premises, or whatever it may be. Come up with something that's going to add value and have that on your website and have the same language on all of your ads or any posts that you do. Same headline, same font, same colors, keep it really consistent. And what we showed you yesterday was when you're writing these headlines, make sure that you use a capital letter at the beginning of each word. So at the beginning of each word here, it says Wedding Venue North Yorkshire, Boutique Wedding Specialists, capital letters at the beginning. And it's the same throughout. We've even done it through the description underneath. Capital letters at the start of each word. That increases traffic and click-through rates. So that increases the number of people that are going to click on your promotion or ad or anything or any banner that you've created. It will increase those conversion rates for you by quite a substantial amount as well. So yes. Make sure that you have a promotion on your website, but also you use the same wording and same style everywhere else. In terms of Google Ads and PPC, what we're saying is when you want to run an ad for Google Ads or PPC, make sure you use your unique selling points and you have ad extensions. And we're going to show you now how you use ad extensions and give you a couple of tips. We showed you a couple of examples of good ads and how good ads can look. with the capitals, the USBs, and the ad extensions. So we went through all that yesterday. But what we did talk about was this ad extension thing. And we want to show you live on Google how you can work through this and the best advice. And we've got Dan Lescano. Dan is our head of PPC at InfoServe, and he's in charge of the Google Ads and Microsoft Ads team. And so myself and Dan spend a lot of time at Google and Microsoft and talking to those guys. And we know exactly the best practices that you need to do when it comes to running a campaign. So what we're going to show you now is literally within the Google Ads interface, that the setup stage of creating a campaign. And so we've not done this before with any of you. We've gone through a lot of the basics, Google My Business, website optimization, conversion rate optimization, but we've not done this. So it's a little bit blurry, I'm getting told.
It's quite blurry. Just try, give it a reset again. Sometimes does this, it's just the connection, unfortunately. There's not, I've spoken to support. There's nothing.
Is there any questions that we can answer just whilst we're fixing the blur?
Yeah, so Jerry asked a very, very good question, something which we come across quite a lot, actually, so multiple businesses with multiple different locations. Can you share the reviews across all of those locations? I wish it was the case. I wish you could, but unfortunately you can't. It is on per location. Now, this is a battle that we have all the time. It's trying to find, you obviously want to get found in those individual locations. Now, it's very good to have a GMB to get found in those individual locations for local SEO. It's perfect, in fact. The only downside is you can't spread your reviews across all listings. It's something we speak to Google on quite a lot. Hopefully they'll make the change, but unfortunately right now, you can't. Let's have a look to see any other questions. Graham Taylor, have a GT Gifts business profile. Can I add another profile for Graham Taylor's Engravers? Yes, 100%. Especially with the business name being different, I would definitely have a separate listing. Especially if they are different parts of your business as well. If you're kind of, even if you're moving over, again, the more listings you have, the more likely you are of getting found if people are typing in. I know you do kind of like personalized gifts, for instance. So yeah, most definitely.
Okay. Well, so what we'll try again. And so we're going into the Google Ads interface. Now, it may be a little blurry, guys, but it will settle down. So bear with us.
Try zooming in, maybe, just to try get a bit closer to see if the text can improve.
And for Dan and Josh, it's probably wise to turn off the camera, so it maybe does help a little bit. But we'll attempt, and we'll see if we can get through this. But what we're looking at here is the Google Ads interface, and effectively, what I'm going to say first of all is the first thing that happens is you select your goal. You select the goal that you feel would make the campaign successful to you. We mentioned goals and how you need to choose goals. And this is basically where it all starts in the Google Ads interface. So in terms of starting a Google Ads campaign, all you need to do is go to Google Ads, and you will then be led to this very screen right at the beginning. So I'm right at the beginning of the start here. So, and it's basically just setting up the goals first of all. Now, typically, Dan, for most of the campaigns that you would run, what kind of goals would you typically be setting?
Well, definitely. Most generally is going to be leads. You need to think about what type of business you are. Sales, the one that you have, first one on the left-hand side, that would apply to e-commerce websites only. Then you have the leads, which that can be either phone calls on your site or phone fields, that can be bookings as well. That's probably, if we were to talk percentage-wise, 70% of campaigns that we set up have as a goal lead generation. That is finding new customers for our clients, and that is the main one. Some of the times you can have, and your goal might be just getting and increasing the number of visits to your site, and then not so much so you have a promotion and brand awareness, which applies to display campaigns.
Okay, great. Okay,
Brilliant.
so typically, so we've got the interface here. It's less blurry now, so Josh is able to share.
Can you see that? Yeah, is that all?
Yeah,
is that?
Everything looks good, Josh. Everything looks good. So keep on that screen. So what we're looking at here is we've got sales leads, website traffic. So Dan, let's just set up a typical search campaign for our small business owners here in the chat now. So for a small business owner, would you say typically website traffic or leads?
Well, it's important also to think about where you're at and how your campaign fits within your overall marketing and business strategy. So if you are a website with little or no traffic, say because you usually don't get any traffic, you don't rank high organically, and or you've set up your website recently, it's a new website, then the first thing is to get some traffic to it. Get clicks, get people to know your brand, your business, to get to know your website and get familiarized with your brand. So website traffic would be a good goal for that end.
I think, I think we should just go for website traffic for this instance, because the setup from there on in is pretty similar to leads anyway. So we'll go through website traffic. Dan, just to let you know, you can put your video back on so we can see your handsome face. Let's have a look. There we go. Okay, so we've got website traffic selected, and then what we're showing the options are search, display, shopping, video. Guys, can you remember in the previous webinars we talked about choosing and using different ad campaigns, different Google ad products? So what we'll do for this one, we'll just run a search campaign. Because let's keep it simple. Let's get your ads shown on the Google search results, and then we're going to be getting to the ad extensions bit in literally a couple of minutes. So we want to show you all the ad extensions and how you should use them and what we recommend. So great. So we're basically putting in our URL. We're on search, putting in our URL. Now, one thing you can do is you can set up conversion tracking. And so if you click on conversion tracking, Josh, what you can do is, this might, let's try that again. Go back to the account.
Sorry about this, guys. I don't know why it said that. Oh.
There we go. Okay, so go back through website, click, search. We won't click on conversions, but you can set up your conversions. If you put a URL in, you can set up your conversions right there, and that allows you to then track performance from the campaign. So if you click continue, Josh, see if we can go through the next stage. Great. Okay, so Dan, any recommendations on the networks?
Yeah, so basically what you have there is the search network and the display network. If you keep both selected, it's what we call a search network with display select. And here our initial intention is to do a search one. So I wouldn't tick the display network. We only want ads to show on the Google results page when people is actively searching, where people is searching for your services further down the funnel. So just untick the display one and let's do a search network only.
Yeah, great. Okay, so scrolling down, we can then go through to locations. No, that's okay. So basically what we want to do now is choose the locations that we want to target. You might need to zoom in a bit, Josh, because it's quite small on the screen. There we go. So now what we can do is, for example, if we're in West Yorkshire, Harrogate, whatever, let's do that, and let's pick a county as well.
Just about to suggest that obviously in terms of the reach, you can see whenever you type in a town, it will always show you the county that is that the town is in. So I've just typed in Harrogate here, and obviously we've got North Yorkshire, we've got Yorkshire as well. So if I'm a Yorkshire business, let's say I am a loft conversion business, and I'm happy to travel across the whole of Yorkshire. I'm very, very competitive effective with my prices. I know I can get the business from it. I will choose the county. So I'm going to target Yorkshire as the county, as the TV region. Sorry.
Yeah.
So as part of this, we can so we enter your location. We've chosen the TV region Yorkshire. You can also choose where you're wanting to target. So by default, your ads will be eligible to show for people based on where they're likely to be located or the places that they're interested in. You can use these different options to target people if they're regularly in those kind of locations. And if they show an interest, again, especially when people are signed into a Google account, obviously Google will know the kind of locations where you always tend to search for. For me, it will be kind of Harrogate, Leeds kind of area. I'm always searching for businesses around there, so I'm more likely to see ads based in those areas.
Okay, yeah. I'm just replying to a couple of questions as we go along. But in terms of what I want to do is go to, if you just scroll down to audiences.
Yeah.
Now, the audience bit, guys, is we've touched on this as well in previous webinars. This is where you can start to target various different audiences and demographics, etc., etc. But this is one of the places where you can do that. So I don't know if you can put property or you could put anything in there really, but you can target different interests and audiences there. So that's that bit with the audiences. But we've talked about that previously. What I want to get down to though is on the next bit down, we should have. So we've got budget, and then budget is how much you want to spend per day. So let's just put in £30 a day, for example, and then we've got the type of what we want to focus on. Is it clicks? Is it conversions? But we're just going to come past that and go down to ad extensions, because ad extensions is really what we're going to get Dan's advice on here. So ad extensions, as it says here as well, you get up to 15% higher click through when you're using ad extensions. And so there's 3: site link, call out, and call extensions, but there's a lot more here to choose from. So Dan's recommendation yesterday was to use as many as possible. So let's just show you how to use a couple of them. Let's go to site link, the first one, Josh, at the top there, site link. And what you can do is, it says there, new site link extension just below all that. No, just there we go. So there, and if you zoom in, what we can start to do here is use some of our best practices. So if we just let it settle down, because it's a bit blurry. There we go. Okay, so Dan, what would you recommend to write in these boxes here from an expert point of view?
Well, so let's remember what site links are for. It serves a dual purpose, and linked extensions in general. They make your ads bigger. They make them so more visible. They take more real estate on the results page, and that increases your click-through rate. In the case of site links, those are links that will take users through to other pages on your website. So this is a great opportunity to describe and show other services that you also cover. You might be focusing this campaign, say, for example, on kitchens or kitchen design service, for example, and that is the sole focus of your campaign. But you, as a business, may also be offering say bedroom furniture and so on. So this is an opportunity to showcase, to show that you do cover all those services. So you add first the title, which has a 25 characters limit, and then you'll have 2 descriptions, 35 on each line. And it's just basically a description of what the user is going to find in those pages. If you have a special offers page, again, this is a good opportunity to show that page, the link to that page in here.
Yeah, so basically just describing what's on that page, guys. Keep it simple. and obviously put in the title for the site link itself. So this is where you can showcase other pages on your ad itself. So your ad is linking to one specific page on the website, the landing page, but this is your opportunity to showcase and get people to go to other pages on the website. Josh, if you just want to go to a different ad extension really quick, let's just go on, and we want to look at call out extensions. If that's all right, the one above, call out. That's it.
Yeah.
So these, and there's already some tips in here. There's already some ideas that have pulled through here. Dan, where are those ideas pulled from, and what should we add? What should we put in call-out extensions?
In call-out extensions is a unique selling point. So this is where if you do free shipping, here's where you say free shipping. If you do 24/7, it's a 24/7 service. This is the place where to say 24/7 service. If you do free quotes or free surveys, this is the place where to add those unique selling points, and so they show underneath the description on your ads.
Absolutely right. So this is it, guys. We've talked. This has all been leading up to this, and this is where you add your unique selling points. This is where you put in what makes you different. As I increase the video size there, and basically we've used free shipping, 24-hour call out, whatever it may be. You know, unique selling points. This is where you can put it. The next thing down underneath there, we've got. Well, it will get less blurry in a second. So we've got call extensions, and call extensions is where Dan. Well, actually, I'll leave that for Dan to explain. Sorry, I don't want to take over.
Yeah, it is. It will display your business telephone number. It will do that on the ad, and people can click through to if it's on a mobile device by clicking on the number directly. It will prompt the screen to dial the number. It's not very high, the number of users that will dial the number directly from an ad. Most people want to get through to your website and see what you have on offer. But on mobile devices is the preferred and Google's favorite extension is the call extension. So I would say if that's what you want, is people to get on the phone and talk to you, to ask for a quote, to inquire on your services, then definitely by all means do add the call extension.
That's it. And there's a good example that Josh has highlighted there on screen of a call extension on, you know, if you're on mobile phone, that's where people can just click and it'll call your business. So having your phone number on your ad is really, really useful for those people that are on mobile phone, for example.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think it's also worth, sorry to interrupt there. I think it's definitely also worth pointing out kind of like this is exactly how it displays on an iPhone 8, for example. But if you can see how much extra room it takes up by adding these call and location extensions, they literally display a phone icon. It's very, very easy for people to get in contact with you, especially on a mobile. I typed in emergency plumbers near me because they will always have a call extension, or they always should do. Again, it's an emergency situation. I need a plumber out fast. All I want to do is ring that business.
Yeah. Now, is the difference on that screen, Josh? The top ad, that telephone number, that is definitely a call extension. The second ad, however, is what we call a call-only ad, and which is a different animal altogether. Those ads will allow only to call the business rather than getting through to the website. It's just in case you've noticed the difference. And again, it gets really complex in terms of ad types and campaign types. We are going to touch the basics today, but just in case you've noticed the difference, the top ad is definitely showing a call extension. Some of the ads are a different type of ad altogether.
Yeah, great, spot on. Okay, so what I just want to highlight is a couple more of the important ad extensions, Dan. So if we just click on that there, from that list, we've got a few different ad extensions.
Yeah.
Which are the ones, maybe up to two, which ones would you definitely
In order of priorities, we've touched the most important, which is the site links, the callout extensions, the call extension. The next two most important, I would say, structure snippets and location extensions, definitely. So if you click on structure snippets, this is an opportunity to list if you, depending on your service, the type of services that you have on your catalog. If it's, say, for example, you are a traveling agency, the type of travel that you specialize in, and so on. So it's a bit of a list of the services or product categories that the user will find on your website.
Great.
If you click on that one, yeah. And now it's interesting, click on the select header type at the top next to that, exactly, yeah. So here you can select whether it's the brands that you want to showcase, type of courses, degree programs, models, and so on and so forth. So in models, you could mention the brands that you offer, and so on and so forth. So you have some predefined categories. Sometimes you'll find it difficult to say showcase your service or your product range, since this is just a limited category list. But then you just select the one that is more appropriate, and then you add the values underneath that.
Well, brilliant. And so, aside from that, are there any others just in that list, Josh? Add extensions at the bottom out. Any others that you would recommend?
And then location extensions, definitely. There is an important reason for that. As Josh showed in the previous screen, some ads will show, particularly on mobile, the extension will be basically your address with the possibility for the user to click on it and open the Google Maps app with directions to your business. So whenever that's relevant, it's really important and very convenient for your potential clients to have that available. Yeah, that one, you can see the one at the top. Once you click on that extension, which is the location extension that we're adding right now, you will be directed to Google Maps. But there's also an important bit to add in the location extension, which is your address will show sometime say a special listing on Google Maps. So you'll see many times that when you search for a product or service, Google Maps, there you have it. So you can see some of those listings, not any of those right now, but sometimes some of those listings will be coming from your Google Ads account. And that is essentially the location extension being listed on Google Maps.
Brilliant.
So again, very important that you add the location extension when relevant. Of course, sometimes if you are an e-commerce site, then it may not apply, and it wouldn't make much sense to show your address. But in most cases, it's definitely important that you add the location extension.
Yeah. So as you can see, you can, as you've mentioned, Dan, you can link these to your
Exactly.
Google My Business. Obviously, we have our InfoServe address here and our listings. So you can link to those Google My Business listings. And as you mentioned, Dan, it will show up as an ad at the top on the local map pack, which is anything with the listings on the Google My Business listings.
Yeah.
Perfect. So any more kind of extensions? I mean, we did have a question. Can you do offers? Yes, you've got promotion extensions.
Well, you'll have the promotion extensions where you can mention special offers, price extensions, again, when relevant. The lead form extension, I'm not sure that everybody will be able to see that option on the Google Ads. This one is a beta right now that Google's rolled out only to some Google Premier partners like ourselves. So we do have some options available that most users won't have available yet. We don't know when Google will roll this out, probably by the end of the year. It's usually they give it 6 months to 12 months, a good year for us agencies to start using the the extensions, the new features. Then we get back to them with some feedback, with what we like, what we don't, what we think is working, what we think isn't working, and then they may just consider the beta the end of it, basically, or may decide to definitely roll it out to the rest of us. So yeah, just in case you struggle finding some of those extensions that we're showing today, it's just that it's available in our interface, but Google will roll it out at some point in the future.
Great. Okay, so that, Josh, can you do me a favor and go to Google for me?
Yes, of course.
And if you go to Google and type in, plumbers in Leeds.
If I can spell it right.
And then if you, so basically, guys, we've got the ads at the top left there. So there's the ads. And how many are there? Four different ads.
Yeah.
And then if you scroll down, Josh, to the map. Okay, so then the map results, these are the Google My Business results, which we've all talked about in previous webinars. And we've been teaching you how to optimize your Google My Business results so that you can get there in that top three, what we call the map pack, the 3-pack. And so underneath the Google Maps positions, we've got the organic results, okay? And if you just want to go back to the map, Josh, and then click on the map for me. Now, I want to draw everyone's attention to the top left, and what you'll see there are 2 results, and those have a little ad icon next to them. I don't know if anyone's seen these before, but this is local ads, Google local ads. And by connecting your Google My Business listing to your Google Ads account, you will then also get your business found at the top of the Google Maps, basically in those positions there. So the first 2 results in Google Maps. Now, obviously, it's not guaranteed to be there all the time. You won't, there's obviously everyone else that's trying to be in those positions as well. But those are the 2 positions on maps where your business can appear, and it's called Google Local Ads. And we'll be talking a little bit more about that next week. And we've got something really cool to show you and a really easy way of setting up a local ads campaign. But effectively, that is another area of Google Ads that we haven't talked about yet. And that's why we have got so much more we want to show you. But effectively, there is a way that you can get your Google My Business listing above everyone else, and you can pay to do that.
And they really do highlight it as well. As you can see, when you look at this map section here, everyone else's icon is red. The 2 ads that are displaying are actually the ones in green. So they really do highlight the fact that you are a featured listing, with your reviews straight away kind of showing there, and obviously the fact that you're an ad. It really does kind of stand out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Josh, if you don't mind, I'm just going to take over, if that's okay. So hopefully you can see my screen now, and everything is okay.
That's a lot better.
So, guys, what I'm going to say is we cannot press home hard enough the power of the Google Ads product and Microsoft Ads. And we have tested many different campaigns. And at the moment, many of you are thinking, well, is there much point in running a campaign right now? Because of the challenging period? Well, yes, there is. And we wanted to show you what's happened when we've set up a campaign in the last 30 days on Google Ads Search, Google Display, and Google Local Ads, the thing I just showed you on the Google Map results. And then what we've also done is built a website. But we've done that. But we've shown you over these last 3 weeks how you can do that. And by giving you this information, by unlocking all these insights and giving you as much as we can to help you do this, this is the kind of performance that we would expect you to have in the next 30 days and beyond. Over the last 30 days, one of our dentist customers has had 259 form submissions and 137 phone calls. And that's from a combination of Google Ads and Microsoft Ads. The local ads on the Google My Business, the thing we just showed you on the maps, and a website that's built for conversions. Everything we talked about, all the conversion rate optimizations, it's really, really powerful. But in terms of us, we've shown you how to set up a Google Ads campaign there. You can do it. You can do it yourself, and it just takes a bit of time and careful planning and consideration. But there is a lot more to it, and we're getting a number of questions, a number of people asking us, can we set up a campaign? We talked to you yesterday about how we can set up the campaign for you for free. We can set up these campaigns for you for free. If you're spending a certain amount per month, we can even manage it ongoing. The management takes hours and hours and hours. As you can see here, this is all of the stuff that we put in on a monthly basis, and it takes hours of monthly management and lots of historic data to do that. But I wanted to make it clear to everyone today that as a company, we can help you with whatever you need help with. Because we are getting a question now as to what is it that we can help with. Can we help with listings? Can we help with social media, PPC? Yes, of course we can, and we'd love to help you. And this isn't a shameless plug or anything. This isn't a plug. It is just us saying PPC and AdWords management can be really complex and really time consuming. If you'd like help with that, we can help you with that. If you'd like your website to be built for conversions and inquiries, we can help with that. If you want to get those backlinks that we talked about in SEO, of course we can do that. And then the other side to it is the blogging, the content, the outreach. We have connections to all the major newspapers in the UK. And you've seen how quickly we can get our company into newspapers. We can do the same for your business. We can do the backlinks. We can do the content building. We can effectively do it all. So if you need any help with any of these services, obviously we'd love to help you, and I hope that's that is taken in the best possible way. So if you'd like us to help you, or if you'd like us to build a campaign for you completely for free, or many of the other things we can do really effectively, really quickly, then all you need to do is just go to infoserve.com/COVID. So www.infoserve.com/COVID, and you can request a one-to-one. Yeah. And so if you request a one-to-one, one of us or one of our team will just jump on a call with you and talk to you about what you need. Is it a website? Is it PPC help? Is it social media? Do you want us to write an article, a piece of content for you? We can talk to you and we can help you really, really quickly. So we want to make sure that everyone's aware we're here to help. And this, with it being a Friday, we wanted to keep this session really short and sweet. Follow up on yesterday, show you how to set up an ads account, show you how to use the ad extensions, and maybe give you something to watch back. And so we're going to drop the link into the chat so you can watch all of these webinars back. And I've got that link now, and I'm going to drop it straight into the chat. Yeah. And so there it is at the top of the chat under my name. It's a YouTube link. And that YouTube has been updated with all the recent webinars. Right, Josh?
Yep, they're all there.
Great. So all of our webinars are now uploaded to YouTube for free. And so you can rewatch all of them, and you can pause and you can rewind and you can stop listening to me drone on or whatever it is you want to do. It's all completely free, and it's all for you, the small business owner. Yeah. So we really appreciate your support during these last few weeks. And if there's any other businesses that could do with any of this help or any of the support, please do share that COVID link, the infoserve.com/COVID link, with any local business that you know. And we are running these webinars ongoing. So we are not stopping here. Apparently, we're in lockdown for another 3 weeks at least.
So you've got us for another 3 weeks at least.
So that said, we are working hard on mixing this up and coming up with all new, fresh, different approaches and different content. So we'll be with you next week, and we'll be sharing with you as to how we're going to help you moving forward and what our plans are.
That being said, I think it's please do let us know if you would like us to cover any subjects which we've already covered before. Yes, you have access to obviously all of the webinars on our playlist on our YouTube. Matt's put the link in. But if you do want us to cover anything again, if you are struggling with anything, you've got two options really. Request a one-to-one. We are working our way through all the inquiries. We will get in touch. You can request a one-to-one, or we can, if we have enough comments, then we will certainly do another webinar about it, whether that be GMB again, whether that be Bing Places, PPC, or anything that we haven't covered yet. We'd love your feedback. Please just pop it in the chat. I'll have a read of the chat when all this is done, and we can arrange and plan a webinar that you guys really want to kind of find out more about.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, Josh, maybe just before we go, you could add a quick poll in, maybe? I don't know.
Definitely. Yeah.
So Josh is going to pop a quick poll in for one of the future webinars. So you can vote for your next webinar, and you can tell us what you want to know in one of the future webinars. So Josh will put a quick poll in, and it needs to cover, Josh, any of those things on the screen there, if that's okay.
Yes.
So there's 6 items, and maybe there's more that we could maybe think of. But there's a list there. Now, so really appreciate your time, guys. If there's any questions though, which I think there are, then we're going to try and answer a couple. Could you please? Someone's asking, please, would hashtags help with SEO? Should I be using them anywhere on the website? Yeah, hashtags do really help with your social SEO. So your social media SEO, you've got to use hashtags. So for example, if I was writing a post on LinkedIn, I'd make sure to have hashtag digital marketing, hashtag small business. And what that does is it just gets you, the reach is far greater and wider, because then a hashtag is basically like a category. A hashtag is people are searching for things on social media like digital marketing, small businesses. Having the hashtag enables your post or whatever it is you've done to get found when people are looking under those different types of terms. So a hashtag is a bit like social media optimization. So do use hashtags. So maybe in the poll, if you want to know more about hashtags and how you can use them, social media would be the one to select in the poll. Just another question. What can I do about the fact that I'm a computer repair company, work from home, but Google took away my PIN in the map? They said I need to send them a shop front picture. It's your house. Yes. But if you're working from home and you're a mobile business, that means you go out to businesses, they don't come to you, so you don't need a PIN. You won't have that because you're a mobile business. And I would actually recommend having that set up if you are working from home. Josh, any other thoughts on that?
That's what your service areas are for. So Google they're really trying to crack down on the service areas tab. Before, you were just able to put 100-mile radius and just kind of wing it. Google are really trying to crack down on that. Again, they want relevant content, and they want relevant stuff to come up when people search. So the best way to do that is they've changed it. So make sure you do fill out those service areas. In those service areas, you can do towns, you can do postcodes. You can really go to town on exactly where you want to be found for. If you want to get found for WF17 9JP, you can. Again, that's exactly what they're for. So hide your business address if it is a home address, and use those service areas to get found in those areas.
The only thing is if Phil, people do come to you, you're going to have to put your home as you know the premise. You're going to have to. That's
where people are going. Definitely,
that's where people are going. So you would have to just have that picture of your home on there. So there's no other way around it, unfortunately. Okay. I think there's a couple more questions. Where on the website? How many times do you use H1 and H2? Well, all you need to do, Chris, is make sure you are using H1, H2, H3, H4, H5. And so I don't know if there's a quick way of me showing you, but you can have multiple H2s, multiple H3s, etc. But make sure you're using all of the H1, H2, H3, H4, H5. And you can even have them in different order. You can get away with having them in different order, but do make sure that you're using all of them if you can. Any ideas to? Sorry, Josh.
If you would like to arrange the setup for the PPC campaign, again, the links at the top of the chat, infoserve.com/COVID. Request a one-to-one, and we'll get in touch, and we will set up their campaign for you, just to be kind of crystal clear on that one. Yeah, we're getting a lot of questions about SEO, H1s and H2s. Definitely think it's probably worth doing another webinar on that. And we can definitively say these are the best guidelines to follow. We'll definitely cover that in a future webinar.
Yeah, it looks like social media has won. So social media has won the day with 50% of the votes. So that's really interesting. SEO has come second, so we will bear that in mind as well, because SEO is quite a complex one. But social media looks like it's won the day. Now, Sam, our social media expert, is going to join me early next week for a social media webinar. So I'm really pleased that social media has been the one that you want to learn more about. And Sam is indeed going to join me. He had taken a few days holiday this week, bless him. So he'll be back early next week, and we'll be running another webinar on social media with all the things about Facebook Pixel, hashtags, Facebook ads, how to create the perfect Facebook ad that gets really good engagement. So that is going to happen. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to stop the video, stop the voiceover, etc. Blah, 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 but we're going to carry on with the chat in the chat box just there on the right hand side. So me and Josh are going to stick around answering any questions. We're going to type out our answers to you. So because it's 2 o'clock, we're going to say goodbye. But before I do, I am going to be able to jump on here tomorrow at 2 p.m. For a Q&A. There's no presentation. There's no fancy slides or screens. It is simply a Q&A. Because usually on Saturdays, the internet's better because there's no businesses obviously operating. So we'll do a Q&A, and I've got some live digital marketing audits that I can do for you. So if you would like a digital marketing audit done live in front of many other business owners, then please join us tomorrow, 2 p.m. and I can do those audits for you. So I'll be around for about 45 minutes tomorrow, 2 p.m. and we can do some Q&A and live audits completely free. And I'll give everyone some tips, and it will cover SEO most of the time. So we'll have a look at that tomorrow. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, Dunk. Thank you for joining again. We'll stay around in the chat to answer a couple of questions left over. But aside from that, I just want to say thanks, Dan. Thank you for all your great advice. And
Cheers, Dan.
thanks, Josh. And we'll see you all tomorrow, all the audience. See you tomorrow, 2 p.m. and have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys.